Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a run. Here's the rookie from Penn State. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
From the 43, here's 2nd and 2. Now Stroud. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
It's a well-designed play here. 3 wide receivers in the formation. They're all going to run deep routes to put pressure on the safeties. And then they let their tight end cut his route off a little shorter and work toward the middle of the field. That's a difficult route to try to defend.
Here we go.
On the bootleg, Stroud. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete. The Steelers had 2-2 through the first 4 weeks of the season. They were winners the last time out, so they'll be looking here to make it 2 in a row.
And when you and I watched tape preparing for this, what we saw was a team that competed hard, and they played well in all 3 phases of the game. And I think if they can carry that over to this week, they've got a really good chance to emerge victorious yet again.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Well, this defense for the Browns, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Tony.
Stroud off the play fake. Rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Martin Emerson. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. That's caught left side by Judy. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. First play of the drive, going for 14 and also going for a 1st down. Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, turn into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
On the ground is Quinshon Judkins. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Look at this Steeler defense. They're right around the middle of the pack, number 15 in the NFL against the run.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
Here's Watson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now 2 yards to go on third down.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender. But the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
They need 2. Here's third down. Back to throw, Watson. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Watson going to stay out there as they'll go for it on fourth. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it.
Here we go. 18, collecting, 18. 70 Rangers.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. Looking right side, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Joey Porter Jr. And the Steelers force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Remember last time out they threw the interception on their first drive. Good news, their defense backed them up, so it's still 0-0 here as they begin their second possession.
Yeah, and one great way to judge a defense, how do they handle what we call sudden change, when all of a sudden, you know, it goes against their offense. And
this is caught at the 20. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. Extra point put through by Boswell. And it's now a 7-0 game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Browns drive about to get started. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, Everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Now a 2nd and 10.
19 Lions. 60 Vices. 60 Vices. Let's go.
Fall back,